The Axis Flying Manta 5 SE V2 is one of the most capable budget freestyle drones on the market. Out of the box, its squashed X-frame and pre-tuned flight controller are designed to give you incredibly smooth flight performance. But before you take it out to the field, we need to update the drone's brain. Today, we are going to safely back up the factory tune, flash the Argus Eco F722 flight controller to the newest firmware, and restore your setup. Step 1 is always safety. Before plugging the drone into your computer or a battery, completely remove all 4 propellers. Getting this firmware update done correctly ensures your flight controller is running the most stable software, and it sets a clean stage for binding to a controller like the Radio Master Pocket later on. To start, grab a verified USB data cable and plug it directly into the drone's flight controller stack. Axis Flying spent a lot of time dialing in the custom PIDs to perfectly match the ICM 42688P gyro and the AE2207 V2 motors. We need to back up this exact tune so we don't lose that hard work during the update. Open up your FPV configurator software on your computer, connect to the drone, and click over to the Command Line Interface tab, often just called the CLI. This interface lets us talk directly to the board. In the text entry bar at the bottom, type out "dump all" and hit enter. You will see a massive wall of raw text cascade down the screen. Click the Save to File button in the bottom corner and save this text document somewhere on your desktop. This single file is your insurance policy. If anything goes wrong, you can always reload it to restore that buttery factory flight feel. Now we need to look at the physical board itself. The Manta 5 uses an Argus series flight controller. Manufacturers produce multiple variations of the same board, like an F722 and an H743. Guessing which one you have can completely brick your drone. Instead of guessing, we'll ask the board directly. Head back into that CLI terminal window. Type the word version and press enter. The software will return a short block of text showing exactly which hardware target name is embedded in the board. Write down that exact target name, character for character, and then click Disconnect. By pulling the target directly from the hardware, you guarantee the new firmware will match perfectly. Next, plug the drone back in while holding the small boot button on the flight controller. This puts it into bootloader mode so we can access the firmware flasher menu. Look at that hardware target name you just wrote down and select the exact matching profile from the flasher drop-down menu. In the version drop-down right below it, choose the latest stable release. Make sure the full chip erase toggle switch is turned to the on position. You want to wipe the slate completely clean. Click Load Firmware Online to download the file, and then hit Flash Firmware. Keep an eye on the physical board. You'll see the status LEDs blink rapidly as data transfers, turning solid once the flash is complete. The drone's brain has now been wiped and rewritten with the newest code, leaving us a blank slate for our custom settings. Disconnect and reconnect the USB cable normally, open the configurator, and head straight back to the CLI terminal. Click the Load From File button, find the text document we saved earlier, and select it. This automatically pastes your entire factory tune into the prompt. To lock all of these uploaded settings into the flight controller's memory permanently, type the word Save and hit Enter. The software will freeze for just a moment, and you'll hear the flight controller physically reboot as it applies the changes. Reconnect one last time and click over to the PID Tuning tab. If the numbers look specific and dialed in rather than standard round defaults, your tune is successfully loaded. Seeing those custom numbers confirms the setup. You now have the stability of modern underlying firmware combined directly with Axis Flying's highly optimized flight characteristics. The firmware update process is completely finished. You can safely unplug the USB cable from the Manta 5. Next, we need to turn our attention to your radio, like the Radio Master Pocket controller. Because the drone's brain is updated and running smoothly, its integrated 2.4 GHz ELRS receiver is fully primed for a low-latency connection. Click on the next video tutorial to learn how to properly bind your ELRS setup and configure the GPS return to home parameters. With your firmware updated and your tune restored, the software side of your build is configured and ready for the field.